my dear Aries friends. I hope you're all doing really, really well. I'm so happy to welcome you to this intuitive guidance for the months of July and August. This reading is for you whether you are an Aries sun, rising, or moon sign. Let's begin with a quick overall look. I truly believe you have a very powerful spread. When we look at the major arcana, you've got the Wheel of Fortune at the heart of these 2 months. This represents what your soul is most longing for at this moment in your life. And you'll see that it appears again as what will help you fulfill your soul's mission. Then we have the Tower as your challenge. We'll definitely dive deeper into that. And I believe that's it in terms of major arcana. But the message of this reading is crystal clear. A new chapter is about to begin, possibly in an unexpected way. Take a look. You have the number 10 here with the Wheel of Fortune, then again with the second Wheel of Fortune. And here's the 10 of Swords as well. As you know, 10s represent the end of a cycle, and then you've got an ace, and the ace brings the number 1, so a new beginning. You also have a page in your professional and financial life, and another page at the end of August, both signs of fresh energy and new emotional openings. Now let's dive into what matters most during these 2 months, what your soul is truly longing for in this phase of your life. As you know, I've chosen to center my readings around the soul because when we act and live from our soul and not from our small self, our ego, then we are naturally aligned, and life becomes much easier, happier, and more harmonious. For July and August, what your soul most longs for is shown through the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune marks a major turning point, a shift in direction that often comes unexpectedly but is deeply aligned. This is the great cosmic clock turning, not according to your will, but through a higher order, a divine order. Something is in motion in your life. And your soul, dear Aries, is clearly craving this shift. It wants things to move forward. It no longer wants to stay stuck in the past. It's time to move on. This is the energy of ending a chapter and opening the door to a new destiny. And remember, the Wheel of Fortune is linked to Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, and also of spiritual truth. When Jupiter moves through your chart, it opens a door, sometimes a bit forcefully, but always in service of your growth. And that's exactly the message your soul is giving you here. You're ready for something new. What's especially powerful is that this wheel is supported by the Knight of Swords, the mental drive, the clarity of thought. It's a card of sharp will and swift action. Look at the illustration. This knight charging ahead, fearless, riding a powerful bull with determination. There's boldness in this figure, and we know Aries can embody that go-getter spirit. But here, this knight lifts his sword with clarity. Look at the birds flying with him. It's as if they're answering a higher calling. So yes, there's a deep inner urgency to move forward, to say yes to something new. This is not a time to hesitate, overthink, or procrastinate. No. Your soul is asking for movement, not in 6 months, now. And what will help you fulfill this soul mission and step into that new phase is represented here by 2 very strong cards. The Six of Swords, and once again, the Wheel of Fortune, this time in a much softer, even protective version. Let's begin with the Six of Swords. This is the card of transition. You're leaving something behind to go somewhere where the grass is greener, where life feels lighter. So what will help you is this departure. It might be literal, a move, a change of house, maybe even city or country, or perhaps a long journey. But it can also be symbolic, leaving a relationship, a lifestyle, even a mindset, or of course a job. In any case, it's a necessary movement. And remember, it's to bring you to calmer waters, towards something that's more aligned with who you truly are. What's especially remarkable here is this second version of the Wheel of Fortune, totally different in the Celtic tarot. I'll include the names of the 2 decks I used in the description below if you're interested. Here, we're in a lush green forest with this almost motherly woman. It's a nurturing, abundant setting. The message is clear. The universe is not only initiating change, as we saw with the first wheel, but it's supporting you in this transition. It's carrying you forward, gently encouraging you. Yes, there may be a passage, a shift, even a form of grieving. But beyond that is the promise of a richer, more meaningful life, one that deeply resonates with your soul. And you are not alone. Remember, this movement is right, and this transition is divinely guided, and the outcome is filled with light. Let's continue now with your main challenge for the months of July and August, represented by two very striking cards, the Tower and the Ace of Pentacles. Right away, we can see that there's something coming that you won't be able to avoid or control. Yes, the Tower is often a card that stirs fear, but it's not inherently negative. It signals the collapse of an old pillar, something that's been a part of your life, a structure, a connection, a relationship, a lifestyle, a familiar framework that is about to be shaken or even disappear. And this won't come from you. It won't be the result of a conscious choice, but rather an unexpected event, something out of your control. It's the lightning strike that hits something you thought was solid. What this card is telling you is that something no longer holds, even if you've grown used to living with it. And remember, the Tower collapses because something needs to change. Maybe it's become too rigid. Maybe it was built on shaky ground. But either way, it's no longer aligned. What makes this challenge even more complex is the presence of the Ace of Pentacles. Normally a card of opportunity, but here it appears as part of your challenge. Like all aces, it's a gift from the universe. And because it's in the suit of Pentacles, it relates to something tangible, something concrete. It could be a new professional opportunity, a project you're about to consider, or a fresh foundation in your material world. But given its position here, it likely means that this promise is currently hard to see, and the imagery really reflects that. You see this path leading to a beautiful golden light, but also these towering columns on either side, massive and imposing. It feels almost intimidating, like the opening is there but hard to access. So your greatest challenge won't just be facing what's crumbling, but also not losing sight of the fact that a new door is opening. Let's now look at what will help you rise to this challenge, what the universe is sending to support you. You have the King of Wands and the Seven of Cups. The King of Wands is the first major support the universe is offering you to navigate this intense period. He embodies mastery of inner fire, charisma, decisiveness, and self-confidence. He's a visionary. He knows what he wants and isn't afraid to claim his space. The universe is urging you to step into this leadership role, to reignite your inner fire and sit firmly on your rightful throne. Even if things around you are crumbling, even if part of you is in doubt, you have the strength to stand tall, to shine, and to lead by example. And this visual says it all. Look at the lion standing behind him. It calls you to awaken your courage, your authority, your true power. The message is clear. You've got this. And then comes the Seven of Cups, a very unique card, often associated with confusion, multiple choices, or illusion. But here, in the position of support, it brings a different energy. And just look at this visual. It's stunning. You see a man standing before a dragon, facing 7 golden cups, as if he's being asked to make a bold decision. And that's exactly what this message is about. You'll be supported by confronting what scares you, by making a clear choice, and daring to truly see what you desire, even if it feels risky or intimidating. But notice, there's no fight here. It's simply a face-to-face moment. And it's this exact moment of truth that will help you cut through the fog and sort out illusion from reality. It's beautiful. This support is twofold. First, reclaiming your power, and second, daring to get clear on what you truly want. And now, take a look at the gift that awaits once this challenge is behind you. Because as you know, when the universe sends us a trial or a challenge, there's always a benefit. There's always something positive, even if we don't see it right away. That's why, in each of my readings, I choose to reveal the hidden gift behind the challenge to support you when you're in the thick of it. These 2 cards are always read in a positive light, whatever they are. And here you've drawn the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Let's start with the Eight of Swords. Look at this woman, blindfolded, her chest bound, standing inside a circle of swords in a heavy, dark atmosphere. But if you look closely, her legs are free, and there's plenty of space between the swords for her to walk out. This is a mental prison, because we're in the suit of swords. These are the thoughts that spiral endlessly, the questions that haunt you, and your gift, dear Aries, is powerful, because once you've made it through this challenge, you'll stop ruminating. You'll stop replaying the same situation in your head over and over. And next to it, you have the Eight of Cups, which speaks of leaving something behind, of walking away from emotions that once sustained you, but no longer serve you. These emotions are now part of the past. The Eight of Cups is telling you that you'll also be supported in letting go of what no longer resonates and in heading towards something entirely new. And this directly echoes the Wheel of Fortune we saw at the start of your reading. Something is ending, whether you wanted it or not, but in the end, you'll be freed. You'll be able to move toward new horizons. It's absolutely beautiful, even if, in the moment, it doesn't always feel easy to go through. Let's move on to your emotional life. Here, the cards accompanying you are the Ten of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. And it's striking how clearly the Ten of Swords confirms everything we've seen so far. You're clearly at the end of a cycle, the end of a situation, but an ending that might be painful. We see it in this figure lying on the ground, pierced by 10 swords. There's nothing more they can do. They can't save the situation. It's a moment of complete surrender. But if you look closely, there's light rising in the background. Because if 10 marks the end of a cycle, it also means that something new is about to begin. A new day is dawning. So we're not talking about a meaningless collapse here. This is the conclusion of a chapter that needed to close. Next to it, you have the Six of Pentacles, which always represents some kind of exchange. We see a wealthy man giving a gold coin to a young girl who receives it with gratitude and humility. There's something fair here, maybe even karmic. It's as if once that painful page is turned, the universe sends you emotional rebalancing. Now, I don't know if this gesture will come from someone else, a helping hand or unexpected support, or from within yourself in the form of allowing yourself to receive what is good and just for you. Now let's take a look at your professional and financial life. You've drawn the Page of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So we can already say that for some of you, this is where the renewal is going to happen, especially with the Page of Cups. And if you're retired, these cards reflect whatever occupies your time from morning to evening, your projects, commitments, or even your role in society. So who is the Page of Cups? Like all pages, he's enthusiastic and curious. He moves forward guided by his emotions because we're in the suit of cups. He wants to discover the world and seek out new emotions that will nourish him. And since pages come after the 10, after an ending, he represents a new beginning. One that might still be fragile, yes, but very much present. Even though he isn't yet a king or a queen, he dares to take the leap. He's motivated, and he's connected to his heart. So this could mean a new project, a budding professional activity, a change of position, or even a deep inner calling to do something that emotionally moves you. Something that makes your eyes light up in the morning. Something that makes you feel alive. And alongside him, you have the majestic Queen of Swords, much more assertive and authoritative. This queen knows. She cuts through illusion. She understands. She analyzes. She is structured and direct. It's often said that the Queen of Swords can be cold or distant, and she's often depicted in a wintry landscape. But despite that, she is always true to herself. Now, I don't know what you're currently experiencing or what this represents for you, and I'd love for you to share it in the comments. But you're going to be called to embody this queen, to step into a leadership role, to make important decisions, and to be seen as a reference in what you do. It could suggest a promotion or an increase in responsibility. But for some, this queen might also represent someone external, a strong and solid figure, male or female, who accompanies you during this renewal signaled by the Page of Cups. It could be a coach, an authority figure, a mentor, someone who brings structure and guidance. Either way, these two cards suggest a new professional chapter, or a new way of organizing your days or managing your finances that's led by the heart, and that is truly beautiful. Now let's look at where you'll be by the end of August after these 2 powerful months. You've drawn the 9 of Pentacles and once again the Page of Cups. These are 2 very luminous and positive cards. They clearly reflect coming out of a crisis with both stability and a sense of lightness, and even joy with this Page of Cups. The 9 of Pentacles is a card of harvest, of personal success, but also of independence, because we're in the number 9. Look at this woman in a lush garden, surrounded by flowers and abundant nature, with a grand home in the background. It's abundance, yes, but hard-earned abundance. It was cultivated. This card shows you in a place of independence, whether that's emotional, financial, or more broadly in your life. You no longer need to depend on external factors to feel good. You've gone through the steps, and now you stand tall. And you can be proud of your journey. It's a beautiful card of restored confidence, and it shows you're on the path to building a stable and prosperous environment that truly reflects who you are. And next to it, we see the Page of Cups returning, but this time in an even more joyful energy. Look at this figure standing in the water, holding a cup in one hand and a fish in the other. There's something playful here, almost childlike in this image, and it shows that despite all the emotional waves you've just been through, you haven't lost your ability to feel beauty and joy. And for a few of you, this page may even announce a new connection, whether friendly, romantic, or possibly professional, but once again, guided by the heart. And before we finish with the oracle message, let's take a look at the precious advice your guides are sending you to help you navigate these 2 months in the most joyful and beautiful way possible. And here, you've drawn the King of Pentacles. This is a deeply reassuring card, grounded and solid. This king embodies security, especially material security, and the ability to build something stable over time. He's not in a rush. He knows that the best things take time, but they're absolutely worth building with care and intention. As advice, this king tells you, get organized, be patient, stay consistent. Whatever your pace, this card tells you prosperity is within reach, and you have everything you need inside you to create it. And now we close with the message from the Petite Oracle of Intuition from the Chakra series. This time, the throat chakra. Your authenticity is beautiful and meant to be expressed. Listen to your truth. Dare to speak from the depth of your being, and your words will naturally be inspired. It will be important for you to express yourself and not suppress your emotions or ideas during these 2 months. Also, pay attention to the messages you might receive. A phrase you overhear, something you read, a word that resonates deeply, or even a casual conversation that unexpectedly holds meaning, if you're open to hearing it. And if this message speaks to you, you can do a guided meditation to re-energize and balance your chakras, especially the throat chakra, which is directly linked to this card. I'll include a link in the video description to an audiobook that can help you practice this quietly from home. So, my dear Aries, what can I say? These next 2 months are going to be incredibly powerful. Don't let yourself get thrown off course, and feel free to come back to this reading whenever you need. It holds a lot of keys to help you through this period. And don't forget about the 9 of Pentacles and the Page of Cups waiting for you at the end of August. 2 beautiful, hope-filled cards. Make sure to check your rising and moon sign too for a more personal reading. Sending you all my love. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you again on August 28th for your next guidance.